Hey, what's up, La Familia? You crazy football-loving nutters. This is Ray Hudson, and you are luxuriating in listening to the Inter Miami podcast with the stupefyingly magnificent Jay and Alex. Two lads who are as electrifying as a hairdryer thrown into a hot tub. Stay tuned, because you know what it's going to be. It's going to be magisterial with an amplifier.
The cross Campana! He's done it again! Taylor squares it for Victor Ulloa. It's one up. Ulloa and Taylor! Job done for Inter Miami! Led in by Mole. What? 6! It's 2 for Miami! Damian Lowell doubles the lead! Some days you can just sense something wicked this way it comes.
I don't even care anymore. I'm honestly just like completely numb to it all. I don't feel any loss after 5. Like if we go on a 5-game losing streak, sucks. 6, I'm already dead. 7, I'm like rotting away.
Honestly, like I think the only reason I'm really going on Saturday is because I know it's gonna be like the last like normal tailgate before the Messi stuff.
Hurrah.
Yep.
Because I'm not going on the 4th of July game, and then after that, Yeah.
This is it. This is it for life changes.
Find a Messi sucker to buy my
forever.
4th of July ticket.
Yeah, and hey, it's gonna be fun. I wonder how many more games we can lose before Messi comes here. Guess we'll get into it. But welcome everyone to the Inter Miami podcast. I am Jay Kington, joined by two of our special friends in the IMPC Pod Squad, Mr. Cali and Branton. I tried,
so
buddy.
Close.
I tried, buddy. I'm sorry.
So close.
I know.
It's okay.
I know. And Mr. Branton Griffin, co-host of Away Days and future shows that we are currently in development that we will not leak right now. But stay tuned. There we go, baby. How are you guys doing today? We'll start with Cali. I'm just going in. This is opposite alphabetical order, but on my screen it's left to right. So Cali, you rip.
I'm doing all right, man. I mean, as good as we can be on this losing streak we're on. It's been absolute dog water watching this club lately, but it's becoming a more profitable time for me, so I'm happy. sold a ticket for a pretty penny, so
that loyalty is up for grabs now for a lot of Inter Miami fans.
My loyalty, I'm very loyal to whoever values my tickets the most.
Very loyal to those dead presidents. Might not like our current political setup and over the past 20, 30 years, but those dead presidents are pretty awesome.
Yeah, they look great sitting digitally in my account. So
I love it. Brandon, how are you holding up, buddy?
Oh, man, I don't know, man. I'm kind of neutral. I have not cashed in on my tickets like Cali has, but, optimistic about the future and just in pain from the past, so ready to roll.
Yeah. Well, last episode I said, the only way to go from here is up, but we asked the judges and they said that was a lie. So, oh dear, 7 in a row, losing to Philly Union, which, let's be fair. Let's be honest. I think a lot of us knew this was going to come. I don't think anyone was caught off guard per se. We may have allowed ourselves to buy into the hype just a little too much because, we beat them the first go around. But, not even nothing really positive to take away from this, Nothing positive at all. 4-1, absolute shellacking, murder ball, whatever you want to call it, man. It was a night to forget, we will say. At least we got a brace by our boy, not a brace, just one goal from Julian Carranza, our boy that we raised and then sent off into the big beautiful world to go do great things. And while he was doing great things, we are just free falling, no parachute. Hope that water doesn't shoot up my butthole and rip me apart. We did pull back one, though. We did get a Robbie Taylor goal. I mean, look.
On a deflection, too.
On a deflection. I don't want to keep beating the dead horse every single episode of just talking about a miserable loss where our stats were kind of better, right? Looks like we were in more control of the game, but what's the point of controlling a game if you can't do anything with it? It reminds me of the Spain this last World Cup, right? Death by 1,000 cuts. Like, that's fun and all. You know what? Hell, have 800, 900 passes, whatever you want to do. It doesn't matter if you can't score. You have a team instance in this game: 688 total passes by Inter Miami, 301 total passes by Philadelphia, coming in with a 31% possession. But they know what they're doing in possession. They have a purpose. They are confident. They rip that ball. We, on the other hand, oh man,
we do not do any of those things.
Yeah.
We just hold on to the ball in the
close.
midfield, and then when we get to the final third, it's chaos. We're just lost. There's nothing positive coming out of it.
Falls apart. It's absolutely brutal. What's, I guess, the worst part of this game for you guys?
Having to watch it mostly. Man, it's just it kind of what I just said. Like, there's just no creativity in the final third. Like, we look okay. Well, I mean, we didn't look okay on the back line this game, but for the most part, our defense has very much been bend don't break. But again, we dominate possession, but it's all in the midfield, and then we get into the final third. No one's running into the box. No one's looking to take that shot. It just seems like everyone's looking to make the extra pass or whatever. And I thought that would change considering everything that's coming up. You'd think some of these guys are kind of playing for their jobs, but it just doesn't seem like anyone's ready to just grab everything by the horns and take control. But yeah, we're getting none of that. It's really sad.
A lot of errors. Yeah. Horrible finishing.
Just atrocious.
Right down the right side. I mean, we like going to the outside, and then just horrible passing. Can't cross, can't get it into, can't even play up the middle, honestly. And a lot of people are starting to complain about Josef Martinez, maybe poor attitude or not producing. But, like, dude, what do you do? Like, he can't produce if we can't get a good ball to him. And none of it is. Like, it's just some special thing. Like, let's just cross to this man. He's not tall. Yes, he can jump, or he wants to go for a bicycle or a scorpion, whatever. I'm not even upset about that. But, like, we just can't get, like, a quality, easy ball in there. Like, yeah, he has missed, like, a sitter or two along the way. But, I mean, man, like, what do we have to do to just buy a goal, to just win a game? The pain.
I mean, I think the first thing we have to do is, not have a totally injured squad. I mean, I don't think any of us thought that that going into this game we weren't going to get waxed. I mean, when you have a back three of Ian Frey, McVeigh, and Noah Allen, you're set up for disaster as your back three. You've got a guy just coming off injury playing center back. You've got Noah Allen coming off injury, also not a center back.
Don't forget Ian Frey coming off an injury.
Well, yeah, both of them coming off injuries, and then okay, if you have Gregory in the midfield, maybe things are a little bit different because you've got a commanding presence, but you've got Ruiz and Arroyo who are good, but not our A team. I mean, this is probably our D team, and with the injury to Negri that we'll talk about, it's only going to get worse.
Yeah, so 3-4-2-1 on paper. Kind of still doing the whole wing back rotation back. Robbie Taylor, Franco Negri. Let's go ahead and get into it. Let's just rip the Band-Aid off. Negri, man, down ACL tear. That is the fourth starter that we've lost this season. That is over a third of our starters out. 40% of our outfield out. And we're talking about core players that we needed. Franco, the ability he has to create, to run, to break away, we have been wanting that forever. We just want a competent left back, left wing back, however you want to, whatever you want to, formation you want to run in, or however you want to line it up. We've been missing that. He brought that light. In my opinion, I think he's the best signing we made all offseason. right? I know a lot of people have Sergei up there.
100%.
Stefanelli, really slow start, kind of came in there a couple games, but just nothing really of substance. And Negri it just seemed to be the best one. Seemed to help out in a crucial area that we were lacking, but now he's gone, ACL tear, out for the season. Oh, buddy boy. So we're out Gregory. We're out Moda. We're out our 2 CDMs. We're out our only 2 Brazilians on the squad, which just
Heartbreaking.
hurts me so much. We're out Coco Jean, our one Frenchman.
Jamar is devastated.
Yeah, and I mean that he just tore his ACL a couple weeks ago. Now there's another ACL. It's just brutal. It is just brutal. It's tough. Like, I know a lot of people were calling for Neville's head, but you lose 2 starting CDMs that are like closest friends on the team, right? Just the Brazilian brothers, kind of the foundation of this team. Lose both of them. Damn, now we have to play all these youngins. Lose Coco. Lose Franco. To be fair, Neville wasn't here when we lost Negri, but it's just miserable. It's just absolutely miserable. Now, Javier Morales is in a position where he's just set up for failure. And he's literally going to come off this little interim coaching stint without a win.
Yes.
Because we're going to get into the reason that's most likely about to happen, but I don't see us improving at all. I only see us digressing until Messi and Busquets come.
And I mean, I think that's what you get when, I don't think the team's plan. Obviously, I don't think the team's plan was to have Neville here all season, but I also don't think their plan was to let him go when they did. And their hand was forced by, outside factors. But when you do that and you're playing already a depleted squad under an interim manager, I mean, this is the results you're going to get. And so, on top of that, we had guys away for international duty. So, you're right. It's a shame because, I think he's done a good job. But I think Javi, I don't see any way Javi leaves here with a win. Maybe if some miracle happens on Saturday, maybe a draw. But I don't think he has a win in his tenure.
Yeah, and unfortunately, like Javi definitely kind of caught a short deck here. But it's made even worse now because Negri, I think a lot of people might agree, was arguably our best player for certain stretches.
Agreed.
He created a lot of the pace. He was the one that made the runs up the field. Distributed. Played on attack, played well on defense, and losing that is massive. And I think people are starting to develop this kind of savior complex that Busquets and Messi are going to get here, and things are going to change immediately. But losing Gregory and Moda and Jean and now Negri, that's a lot to make up for, man. And there's only so much. I mean, offensively, I think with like Messi coming in, we see Campana, Joseph getting a much better service, obviously at this point, and maybe things change in that regard. But man, that back line's looking rough right now, man. And there's still glaring hole with both Gregory and Moda out, and Busquets will come in and fill in some of that, but he's also just played an entire season. He's who knows how much these guys, and that's not another thing I think people are considering. Messi played a World Cup, played an entire season in France, and now he's only been off a few weeks, and now he's jumping right back into it. So how much is he going to be playing every game, too? How much is he going to be playing, period?
What's the report on the structural integrity of Messi's knees right now?
Exactly. So,
Well, we know he won't be playing on turf, right? So
I hope so.
We can cross those games off the list. But
I'd be mad if he did.
Oh, so would I. MLS, get your shit together and get rid of the turf, man. Yeah. But
here's a question.
I think.
Go ahead. But then I have a question.
No, I just think the other thing. We're injured in midfield and stuff right now, but I think international duty's pretty much over. I think we've got Miller coming back because I don't think he was on the Gold Cup roster. So I think our back line will be probably pretty solid once Messi and Busquets get here. So I think there's reason to hope that we can make a run. I think it's more realistic for us to maybe make a run in Leagues Cup and definitely Open Cup. I would think we probably prioritize that for this year, but only having 15 points, I don't know how realistic it is for us to make playoffs.
It's going to be a battle for sure. Let's see. We are 15 points. Oh, goodness. Yeah, we're, 11 points off.
We're 11 points out, but we have 2 games in hand, so that makes up some of that.
Yeah, but 2 games in hands doesn't mean anything when you're going to bring 0 points in both games,
That is absolutely true.
That
is absolutely
gonna
true.
shoot us. My concern here is that while I do love Noah Allen, while I do love Ruiz and Benha, right? I love the young guns. I really love Ian Frey. I like them. I like the academy, the products are producing, and I think it's going to be a very bright future for the club in 3 more years or something like that once it really bleeds in. However, I just do not feel that you can run an entire season and have the young guns starting every game. I think you got to get them playing time where you can, coming on for more senior, more experienced people. I know you guys disagree with me. I know most or Discord disagrees with me, but I think Pizarro needs more playing time. I just think while, yes, sure, he does make mistakes, everyone on the team is making mistakes, to be fair, right? We just need someone who's got a little bit more experience, I think, to be injected into this roster. And they're only going to get better, but it is going to be a brutal season as we try and make this work. But my question I had for both of you guys, since Negri is out for the remainder of the season, is this I'm all in, push your chips to the middle of the table, we have to get Jordi Alba situation now?
I mean, maybe, but I think that was probably always a plan, right? Like, the number's always been 3 to 5. So
yeah, but one thing was most people want Negri starting in that role. Even when those rumors started, they're like, well, I mean, if he wants to come on as a TAM deal, sure, but we want Negri to play over him. But now Negri's out, so I feel like we're given that experience and the history, I feel like that's kind of going to be the club's main focus right now, at least in the next move we hear about.
Yeah, my thing is that Negri always, when all this kind of started swirling, I think for me, Negri was always the most reasonable one seemingly to kind of move on from, because he doesn't have a huge contract and he's a productive player. So if you were to bring in a Jordi Alba, it would have been easier, I think, to ship out Negri to another MLS club or whatever the case. But obviously things change now with him being hurt. So, and I know MLS rules are weird and something can be done in terms of contract and money with that stuff, but I think it definitely probably accelerates the Jordi Alba stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I think at this point, kind of what you said earlier, Jay, you can't run Noah Allen the whole season. That's not going to be beneficial for him or the team. So I think you have to go for a guy like Alba, bring him in. I think he can contribute. I didn't think it was a position of need beforehand, before the Negri injury, but now it's definitely a position of need, and he can contribute, and Noah Allen can get some playing time. I think if anybody benefits from this, because I think Alba was probably always coming here, I think Noah Allen benefits just because he'll be the primary backup, is my guess, unless there's something else in the works that we don't know about.
That's the thing, right? So on the call with the club, we're just going to say the club to be safe. On that call, it was mentioned 3 to 5 signings. It was not clarified if that was in addition to Messi, as in Messi plus 3 to 5, or if he was part of that 3 to 5. But I think there's going to be a substantial amount of moves, all on it, still under sanction. Chris Henderson is going to have to make some power moves here, and we're going to need to bring in some serious reinforcements in the midfield, and ideally someone else to rotate in on the back line. I mean, it's season's not going our way. It's going the exact opposite our way. I'm really glad.
Couldn't go any less our way.
Yeah, I'm really glad that some people didn't fill out the over/unders, and that we didn't really finalize that list, because man, we'd probably be 0 for 18. Man, we were it is just It's utterly insane. 15. How many games have we played? Here we are. 18 games played. You know, our leading goal scorer only has 4 goals. Like, that is insane. It's
And
literally
it's Joseph.
It's Joseph with 4, Campana with 3, Robbie Taylor with 2, and Dixon Arroyo with 1.
I think 3 of Joseph's are penalties too, aren't they?
I think 2 of them are. Maybe no, 2 of them are. Yeah.
For sure, too.
But God, because I know that cheeky little slide one, and then he had the one where he kind of measured up and just blasted it. Nothing was really like beautiful, gorgeous with the goals that we've seen him make. And then Campana's been struggling as well. Both these guys are going to struggle because we just can't get him service. But I mean, God, so inefficient, so inefficient. Now, here's the main question, right? Because we got some news. I mean, we I think shared this. What was that last week about the triple confirmation per team sources on Tata Martino. And now we're hearing today that he could be announced and introduced as early as Wednesday. So, is Mo's last game? Well, we got this game. I think we got a Wednesday game, right? We got Austin.
We got Austin, and then we got the 4th of July game again.
So the Tuesday game. Great. So that's fun, right?
Against Columbus.
Completely depleted roster. 2-day break.
Yes.
Gotta love it. Gotta love it.
Yep.
All right, so we're looking at 2 more games for Javier. I mean, Austin is like
Poor guy.
Yeah, poor guy. Austin struggled at the beginning of the season, to be fair, but they just beat Houston 3-0, and they destroyed us 5-1 last year, which was just brutal.
Yes.
We've already discussed he's probably just going to be doing the best he can. You know, going back to the academy. Good on you. You know, take it up. Take your. You know, you're not going to be successful in this role. You're getting a really, like you said, short deck. I mean, bad hand, very bad hand. 7 deuce split if we're playing Hold'em, right? Anyway, so Tata Martino comes in here now. Poor guy. I'm going to go ahead and say poor guy, but he's going to bring his own style, right? Which we're all kind of trying to decipher exactly how it's going to be. And it's been a little different depending on, you know, what club he's in. But how much do you think he'll be able to make an impact? Because the way this is looking, let me get back to the schedule, is that he's probably going to be, if this report is true, then there's a good chance that he's playing, a little bit without Messi. And we think he can make an honest improvement with this squad, given the way it is, without a Messi or Busquets in there?
That's a tough question. Now, obviously, like he's done more on a football scale, much more than Neville or Javi in terms of coaching, right? He's coached some of the biggest
so 2
places
games.
on.
Sorry, didn't mean to cut you off. 2 games. DC United, not going to be easy.
No.
St. Louis. Really
Definitely not going to be easy.
Right? Then we're gonna get the break for the Leagues Cup. Messi will be here. Hopefully Busquets as well. But for these 2 games, poor guy.
Yeah, unfortunately, you have 4 of your best players that are out. You know, I think maybe we see better, and also it's not like he's had weeks to train with these guys. He's gonna jump in and then just kind of just survive at least through the first one before he can have a couple training sessions with the team and the players. So, I mean, I'm not expecting magic. I'm expecting, maybe we see some certain things getting better, but, usually guys have an entire offseason to work with a coach, getting into, formation and what he expects and stuff like that. These guys are going to have a few days, and these guys have never played for someone like Tata.
So, good point. Do you think the boys will be really invigorated to have such a reputable coach?
The great Vince Lombardi once said, "Be fired up with enthusiasm or you will be fired with enthusiasm." So I don't think they have a choice.
Fair.
They have to.
Very valid. Okay. I had a second thought, but it just flew in my mind. Okay. How do you think he can make in the short time he's going to have to kind of get things under control? Do you think he can implement some sort of new cultural changes, attitude, just something? or is this just going to be something that we watch slowly develop over the season? Like, is there going to be an instant impact of these are sweeping changes that are being made, everyone needs to act accordingly, or is he just going to have to put this Lego puzzle together throughout the season?
So I think that so we've seen Javi make some changes when you compare to Neville as far as formation and stuff. So I think Tata probably has already had some say in what's happening with the team. I think formation-wise, and I don't think much is going to change. I think Tata probably already has told Javi, like, hey, this is what's going to happen. And I would also expect Javi to probably remain on in some form to kind of give some sort of continuality, right? Mm-hmm. But I do think we probably won't see any major changes until the off season is my thought. I mean, I know Cali probably has a different thought, but that's my 2 cents.
So no one can see right now, right? This is a audio only podcast. Brandon is getting assaulted by his 2 beautiful children. It's absolutely adorable to see. Normally, this is cute. I like this. We actually need more of it.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts, my dear?
Yeah. Layla, you have any thoughts?
No.
But I mean, I think right off the bat, maybe we see certain things, maybe how they report and behave in training and stuff like that. But I think what's really going to usher in the culture is what Tata implements, and then a guy like Messi backing it up and saying, like, yeah, this is what we're going to be doing. These are what the expectations are. This is what I want. This is what I demand. And then we'll see the players fall in line. And I think it's going to take some of these players that have been playing a lot this season that are young guys a minute to kind of adjust to the fact that, like, holy shit, I'm teammates with Lionel Messi now. I am being coached by Tata Martino. Like, we all know my boy David Ruiz. Like, this kid was sitting in my English class and,
he couldn't read good.
Yeah, he couldn't read good. And this kid's going from that to...
It's a Zoolander joke. That's not slander.
to... 8 or so months down the road to being teammates with, the greatest player of all time and one of the most well recognized.
Reach out to him and see what he's thinking.
Yeah, I'm like, hey man, like,
I'm curious.
Yeah, so.
Hey man, what's the correct conjugation of the sentence?
Tell me what a past participle is right now. But I think you're gonna see guys like Ruiz, Benja, Noah. I mean, these guys are going to be going from playing with guys like Joseph and Campana, who are great in their own regard, to playing with Lionel Messi and Sergio Busquets, possibly Jordi Alba, and certainly maybe some others that come in, and being coached by, quite frankly, whether people want to admit it or not, one of the most well-recognized coaches in the world probably right now.
Yep.
A guy that's
the best person to ever coach in MLS.
It's in the conversation.
He'll probably
definitely.
He legit would probably be the best coach in the MLS when he comes. So we do expect, right, a heavy focus and kind of all attention on the Open Cup.
Yes.
But
100%.
Outside of that, is it just a race to the end of the season? Get us to the off season, we can make some additional moves, and then it buys him the time he needs to really set the tone, set the culture, get his system in place, and get players bought in. Like, I mean, there's a solid chance. I mean, this is completely nothing to back it up, but there's a solid chance. Like, this could be the greatest blessing in the world. Like, for a lot of the players, right? I know there's like heavy rumors that Robbie Robinson's going to be out, but if he's not moved and he flourishes, like, some coaches have impacts on players more so than some of their teammates, right? So that's what I'm really interested to see is who really buys in, who's all full gung-ho. Tata's here. Obviously, Leo Cummings, an upgrade from Pozuelo, which everyone loves, right? We all love Pozuelo. But I'm really interested to see who's going to really blossom, not only with a new coach, new system, new culture, but with the additional toys in place that we have. There's also rumors that Gregory might be back before the end of the season, right? Everyone's monitoring that Liz Frank injury, which honestly, to be fair, I've never heard. I only hear that in fantasy football. Usually it happens to all the players that I like to draft.
Travis Etienne, one of my dynasty guys.
Yeah. It's not really the easiest injury to come back. It kind of lingers, but if he does come back, and we've got Gregory and Busquets, like, there's a refortified, sturdy CDM pairing, and then you've got Leo pulling the strings up top with two very capable strikers. Now, who is really going to grab the reins and ride the wave and adapt and absorb and be that individual? Who do you guys think will be the biggest beneficiary of the Tata signing?
For me, without question, it's going to be Leo Campana. Without question. We've seen what he can do. We saw what he did with Pozuelo. We saw how he played last year. Before the injury, one of the best goal scorers in the league. Now him, getting service from Messi, I think it's going to be revolutionary. And I think there's also a case for Joseph, because the last time Joseph was Joseph was under Tata.
Yep.
So, I mean, to me, it's going to be those two guys, but I think Leo is going to be the one that the club really says, okay, go get him. This is your time now.
And per high-level source, that is the plans. Leo to be the beneficiary of really all of these moves. Brandon, who would your best guess be?
So I'm gonna go outside the box because Leo's the easy answer, right?
I want it easy.
Wait, we're talking about current Inter Miami players. You gotta
right. So my thought is Benja Kramashi. I think day in and day out, him getting to train and play with Leo, I think is only going to help him. He's going to get to develop his game, and I think there's a real possibility we see those two play in the midfield together at points in the run-in and learning from the best. I mean, you can't beat that, and so I think he probably is the biggest beneficiary outside of the goal scorers from the service that they're going to get, because if those guys don't start getting double-digit goals now that Leo's there, it's going to be a travesty.
They're going to be gone. I agree.
It's going to be crazy. We're going to see the greatest Argentine player of all time playing with Lionel Messi. It's crazy.
That's insane. It's utterly insane. I don't know. Like, I wanted to go.
Figal's not coming back.
I wanted to go like Kamal, but like I'm not even sure Kamal's going to be here once the season's over. I think he might dip off to Europe. But for me, I'm looking at Robbie Taylor, right? I think Tata was instrumental in really Miggy Almiron blossoming into what he was, and what a squad Atlanta was able to have just with the players they did. You got Joseph in your prime, Miggy just shredding everyone quick as hell. Then he goes over to Europe, right? Now he's with Newcastle, and had a pretty decent season as well. But I think Robbie Taylor, while he might not have the speed that Miggy had, like he has, I would argue, more creativity in his feet, and we've seen him be very shisty on the edges of the box and shake defenders, get in there. So I think that he could be someone that kind of fits that prototypical Tata winger, helping drive the play. But here's the thing. We really don't know what formation we're about to roll with, right? There's speculation over different styles he played at different teams. So that's going to just be something we have to say, to wait and watch. But, like, man, when we say reinforcements are on the way, we mean reinforcements are on the way. Outside of Messi and Busquets, like, actually very qualified coach with amazing experience and an amazing resume. But, again, I guess we do need to do some sort of coverage of the upcoming game on Saturday. We'll be there. This is going to be a grand old time. This is what,
our
the last
rodeo.
one. This is the last game of the old ways of Inter Miami, La Familia, and the community. And we always have a good time. We always have a good tailgate. It's nothing but love between all of us, our affiliates. SGs, man, and who knows what the future is going to look like. Who knows if we're going to be really relocated somewhere, to a designated area of the green lot or the practice field. So this is it. So last hoorah. Unfortunately, we're coming up against a pretty tough opponent that absolutely murdered us last season.
Yes.
And again, I'll state it one more time. And I'm going to keep stating it until it changes. But who would have thought Matthew McConaughey would be a better club owner than David Beckham? Like, absolutely wild to me. So Oh man, it's gonna be bloody. It's gonna be bloody. I don't see. I mean, they're in 8th in the West, right? They're not having the greatest season. They've really struggled to come about earlier in the season. But look, it's a tough squad, and everyone knew that they were gonna get it together. They had their struggles early, but everyone knew the capabilities of this team, right? So let's just do a little past 2 games here. Dallas and Houston, just the run in Texas this season. Great. 3-0, 3-0. Then they're coming to Inter Miami. I'm not even going to say arguably because it's not even arguable, but like clearly a worse team than both those squads.
Yes.
It's going to be I want to say like 4-0, maybe 5-0. Maybe we get lucky, get a goal. It's going to be bloody, and bad. But look, the pain's going to be ending soon. Very, very, obviously not a good record. We do want to redeem ourselves from last season, but anything you guys will be looking for specifically in this game or expectations, because we got to do the fans a solid and speak to it. All right. We don't have to stay on it. We don't have to stay on it for a long period of time. Let's just share some words and we can move on to a little bit more fun extracurricular MLS activities.
Yeah, Austin, they've played well lately, right? We saw 3-0. They've put up 6 in their last 2 against teams much better than us, but they're a team that hasn't been super great on the attack. I think Gallagher's their highest goal scorer with 5, I believe.
Yep. And Zardes, Giassi having a little bit of a resurgence.
Yeah, a little bit.
And then Drussi with 4, right?
Yeah, so they're not the world beaters that they were last season, that I felt like they were scoring for fun, right? But they seem to have kind of turned a corner in terms of scoring lately. So, it only bodes more so for the fact that we're probably going to get slaughtered, which is usually my anticipation these days until the cavalry comes. There's just nothing that Inter Miami has shown me recently that gives me any faith that things are going to get better until Tata and Messi and Busquets get here. So, yeah, my hope is low. Saturday's all about the vibes, all about hanging with the boys on a Saturday, because my ass is not showing up on 4th of July against Columbus.
I'll be out of town, so hey, this is it. This is it.
I'll be in DC for DC, and we'll go. I'll see him over there, but.
The MLS is it's like March Madness, man. It doesn't really matter like if you win your league or your conference. Like, just make the playoffs. Make the playoffs and make the playoffs while you're hitting your run, and you can go far. And you can
get in and get lucky, baby. Yeah. That's it. Get in and get lucky.
Branton, what are your positive outlook thoughts on this?
Well, if I'm going to try and be positive about this, I will say the best I've seen Inter Miami play in this calendar year was against Austin in the preseason game. Most of that roster is no longer here or injured, but Joseph and Leo look good as a partnership up top under Phil Neville. So maybe there's some sort of secret there, but I'm going to guess probably a 3-1 defeat.
Valid point. Honestly, some of the best football we've played
didn't count.
And Rodo got that a goal in that game too. But some of the best football we've played this season that doesn't attribute to any wins, but it's just been really pretty to watch, is running both Josef and Leo Campana up top. And the interplay they have between each other, the 1-2, the understanding, maybe understanding each other a little too much, and instead of trying to make, the fourth pass back and forth between each other, someone just have a rip. But look, we don't really have anything to lose at this point. Neither does Javier Morales. I say come out there, bro. Go Javi, dude. Maybe if Javi listened to like the last podcast or the one before that, where I was like, flip it, go full Man City, right? Like a 3-2-4-1, just overload that, man. Who cares if we give up 5 goals? We're gonna give up 5 goals if we play 5 at the back.
We're gonna give up 5 anyway.
Yeah,
so
just go have.
Let's
some
try and
fun,
score full, man.
Just like leave poor Noah Allen back there by himself and just send everyone forward. Just get a goal or 2 in front of your crowd. Get him amped up.
We know Frey can score. Send him up there.
Yeah, he literally is one of the better attackers on the team. But look, here's what's going to happen, man. Is it's going to be really ugly, but it doesn't matter because all of us, you can't hurt us right now. We're already dead. We're just waiting for Messi to get here. I don't care if we had 8 games before July 21st. None of us care. We really don't. Just give us Messi, and the whole season restarts, basically. Probably won't make playoffs, even though I was pretty optimistic that we could. But I think we're just going to lose too many games to realistically make playoffs. And there's no guarantee, even with Messi, that doesn't mean we're winning games. Like, what is Messi supposed to score 5 every game? 4 assists, and we're just knocking people off 9-2. Like, no, it's going to take some time. It's going to be a brutal finish to the season. But we got 2 years after that with Messi, a third option year if he does decide to play, which, why would you not, baby? You already got a house here. You're going to love Miami. La Familia is going to love you. You're going to love them. It's going to be a partnership made in heaven. All right, that was it. Good job, guys. I'm really proud of you for getting through that. Now let's have some fun. So... as many people were aware via social media or just following the MLS, whether that be website or other various forms of wherever you would follow the MLS, All-Star Game. All-Star Game roster has been selected. Okay. I just want to go through this. Just gather some thoughts here. Okie dokie. So, first and foremost, we've got 3 different categories of players here. This is a lot to scroll. Jesus Christ. Oh, we're going to play Arsenal. We already know Arsenal bottled the league. Yes, great to see Arsenal bottle. We were all very excited about that. I know we were.
For only one reason, I'd like to point out. For all the other
Karma.
Arsenal fans, I'm sorry.
Karma. That's what happens. Contra. That's what happens.
Yeah.
So instead of East versus West, right, it's going to be like, hey, let's just show the world that we're not everything they think we are. It'll be interesting to see who Arsenal brings out here. But head coach, Mr. Wayne Rooney, he knows a thing or two about Arsenal. He knows a thing or two about scoring goals on Arsenal. So 3 categories, all right? We got voted in, we got coaches' picks, and we've got commissioners' picks. Let's go through the voted in. And here, spoiler alert, not one Miami player was selected.
Gasp.
And
Shocked.
And rightfully so, right? Voted in. This is by the fans. This is for your little Twitter fingers out there voting. Dennis Mwanga, LAFC, obviously having a hell of a season. Jesus Ferreira, Jordan Morris, Luciano Acosta. I don't know why I said Luciano. It's Lucha. Thiago Almada, Aiden Morris, my boy, Hani Mukhtar. We're getting our own Mukhtar, apparently, but not the Mukhtar I wanted. Alvaro Barriel, John Gallagher, Matt Miazga, Walker Zimmerman, and Roman Berkey. We can't really comment on that. That's voted by the fans. Here's what I want to get your guys' opinions on coaches' picks, right? So, I mean, I honestly didn't do the research on this, not going to lie. I would assume every single coach gets to make some selections and highest votes wins, right? So, Christian Benteke. Agree or disagree? We'll make this quick, lightning rounds.
Disagree.
Agree because of the DC factor. I know they always want like a local product of some sort there. So
And EPL history, right?
Lame.
yeah, former Liverpool player. Fun fact.
Christian Espinosa.
I'll say agree. He's had a decent year.
San Jose's had a pretty good season.
Yeah, much better than I thought they would
He's
be.
a big part of that, so I'd agree with that.
Yeah. Now I was getting intimidated by the Greek names. Georgios Giamakis.
I'm actually really pronounced that you said that name. Yes, I think he's at like 10 goals right now. Yeah,
Yeah, you said I'm really pronounced
Yeah.
it. You said that name.
I'm really proud of how you pronounced it. I think you nailed it.
You can do it every now and then. You know, it's the rolling of the R's that I struggle with. It's all the Anglo blood in me that doesn't allow it. My tongue is very just stationary. Ache. I feel like that's you got to bring in Hector Herrera, right? You have to.
Yeah.
That's for the
They
betterment of
couldn't
the
bring
league.
in Pizarro to draw in the Mexican viewers this time.
Damn. Rough. Jose Martinez. I wonder if this most recent goal had an effect on that or if he was already in there.
Yeah, I don't know. And defensive midfield is such a hard position to judge if you're not watching it week in and week out. So that one's kind of a wash for me.
This next one's pretty easy. Ricky Poosh.
Ricky Poosh.
Poosh. So close.
I mean, he's exciting, but you know, Galaxy haven't been good either.
Yeah.
So I think it's more of a popularity
I
pick.
would have said no.
Yeah.
More deserving, I think.
Past few games have been pretty good in my book. I think that you like for the big name players that have played in Europe. I think the league will have a push to try and get them in there for viewers and whatnot.
Absolutely.
This one's easy. If either of you deny this, we're gonna end this right now.
Yeah.
Zell.
Yeah, he's a monster.
Of course.
Easy.
I don't know how. I don't know how he wasn't voted in, honestly.
That's wild, right? That he was not voted in.
I thought for sure he would be voted in.
One of the best players in the league this year, without
yeah.
question.
Maybe, I mean, I guess the way that it broke down, right? So, quick math. Yeah, so it's like 11 and 11. I would guess the reason is because Hani got more votes. And
Yeah.
I don't disagree with that. Like, but they're both absolute studs. Ryan Hollins had a hell of a season last year. I think that's a given.
Yeah, he's been very good this year too. So
Yeah.
not bad.
We got Tim Parker, St. Louis.
I think that's one. I think that's one more. That's one that it's a combination of name recognition, and then St. Louis 100%. Has kind of like carried him into that. So
fair. Now I'm torn between this guy because I really honestly hate him anytime we have to play against him. But then I found myself like rooting for him in the Gold Cup. John Tolkien, sketchy hairdo, bro. Sketchy hairdo, bro.
Yeah.
That's why it's a no for me, dog. But no, he's I mean, he's a fun guy, homegrown guy. You know, getting his name into the U.S. pantheon now. So
Yeah.
it's
Okay
one of those.
with it. I'm not excited about it.
It doesn't put lead in my pencil, personally.
Nope.
Now, I know that, I think it was fan that was getting active on Twitter. Tyler Miller, DC, upset that it wasn't Calendar. But, I mean, to be fair, Calendar doesn't really have the numbers this year. And that's not Calendar's fault. That's just the shambolic team we have.
Yeah, it's just us being bad more so. I think goalkeeper is one of those that it's harder to gauge if you don't watch every game. He kind of got exposed on that Mukhtar goal a couple weeks ago. He got caught out, and Mukhtar hit that one from the half line.
Yeah. I think there's better goalkeepers out there. I think it was just a DC pick. That's why.
It could be too. Just get the
DMV.
local guys.
I just love Yo Gotti running ads for MLS. It just makes me so happy. Just because like Memphis, like we grew up with Memphis rap back in Louisville. Like I was happy to see it. Denver. Georgi Petrovic.
I think he actually has been one of the better goalkeepers in the league this year too. So
I agree. So let's get to the more controversial. Right? Let's get to the commissioner picks. These are picked by Don Garber, the man that many of us hate. But you have to respect Kai Kamara.
I think that's just a name play, MLS lifer, that whole song and dance.
Yeah, I think it's more for. Well, he's not an MLS lifer. He played outside the league, first of all.
Oh, he's been
Second
in the
of all,
MLS. The guy played on the Kansas City Wizards, dog. Like,
yeah, I think it's more of a thank you for what you've done for the league. I mean, he's moving up on the scoring list. Mm-hmm. He's done some good stuff, so I have no problem with it. The guy's good, and I think he's flown under the radar a lot of his career. It's because he's moved teams quite a bit.
Okay, I don't know. I respect him, but still, like that shoe celebration will never sit right. Like and I get you probably want to mix it up, right? And there's no other Chicago players selected in either the voted in or coaches pick. So why not have someone from Chicago represent them? I would say you can pick like a Brandon Vasquez or something like that. But I get it. Have representation from every club except Inter Miami because we don't deserve it.
Fair.
And then the second of the commissioner's pick, I'm going to butcher this name per usual, but Matthew Chanieri. Chanieri?
Yeah. I know he's kind of had a bit of a breakout year. I think, he's had 5 goal contributions, 2 goals, 3 assists. I guess, I don't know.
Surprised you could spell his name that quick to look it up.
He's kind of a copy and paste dog. He's to me, he's just kind of just a guy, man. I don't know. Owes Montreal a favor, I guess. I don't know.
All right, so FC Cincinnati wins with 3 players. Lucha Acosta, Alvaro Barriel, Matt Miazga. He needs to step it up in the Gold Cup, damn it. So yeah, we'll see what happens, man. Can we beat Arsenal's B or C team?
No.
No?
No.
Not
even close. We have no hope.
I think there's some hope. I mean,
Wow.
but I think people. Well, we won't get Arsenal's A team, that's for sure. Like I don't think we're getting like Saka and Odegaard and Gabriel Jesus and these guys all out here. I mean, maybe 1 or 2 of them come, but like, you know, I think
we're getting Tomas Rosicky.
Maybe Balogun. I don't know. Maybe he makes an appearance in stateside now that he's now that he's a U.S. national. Arsenal's coming. His loan's up with who was he with Leon or Lyle? I don't remember which. But it could be fun, man. I think as
Wait,
long
is he
as
going to Arsenal?
He's on Arsenal.
Oh, he was loaned. Okay, sorry. Yeah, see.
Yeah, he was loaned to a French club that escapes me at the moment. But
Like most Americans that don't follow Ligue 1.
yeah,
We had no idea who that man was 3 months ago. And
Yeah,
now he's like the pride of USMNT. Now we're gonna win the World Cup.
yeah. Kudos to the U.S. Soccer Federation for digging through the files to find some sort of American lineage to exploit there. But,
It's the industrial war machine, okay?
Yeah.
These are the benefits of the industrial war machine. You put these American bases in every country that doesn't want an American base. These little Americans go out there, they mingle in the little pubs and bars, and they find some nice little wives. And this man's mother or father, I don't know. I haven't looked up his backstory, but I know that's kind of a lot of these are like kind of army brats or whatever. And that's how it goes, man. And that's just the American
imperialism finally paid off, man.
Imperial colonial. I don't know what. Yeah, that's the way, baby. That's the way. But that'll be an interesting game to watch, right? I really still not sure how I feel about the MLS Apple deal in the schedule because it really limits how many other games you can watch. But that'll be a fun game to watch. I just hope that we come out and show that we're not as big of a joke as everyone in Europe thinks we are, and maybe we can be a little competitive. Is there anything else that caught your guys' eye in the MLS or anything relevant to Inter Miami that we should cover?
Relevant to Inter Miami? I mean, the rumors keep firing off. I mean, we'll see. I think maybe by the time this podcast goes to record again, maybe we have some more information about possibly someone else coming into the fold. But
yeah, waiting on that confirmation.
We'll see, man.
But like the whole internet blew up, like, oh, it's confirmed, Leo Messi's here, Cruz Azul. It's like, yeah, we've known that for like 2 weeks now. Like it's all this like repetitive news.
And now it's getting just like ridiculous. Like I don't know if you guys saw like the thing that was making around on Twitter. Some like European football Twitter account put like a picture of Ari Lassiter and said that he refused to give up number 10, so they released him his contract.
Traded him. Ari Lassiter, number 11,
which is really funny because Ari Lassiter he wore number 11. So.
But I mean,
and he was traded months before Messi was a thing.
Exactly.
So.
Correct.
But could you imagine someone like I could see that of like, oh, we're getting like someone who's like has had a name that's been buzzing in Europe. Give up your number for him. No, it's like this is Leo Messi. Like no one's turning down Leo Messi on.
Yeah.
Like, do you want us to win games or do you want to just keep losing every game? Give up.
There's a reason when the team announced squad numbers, certain numbers were left empty.
There's a reason we've been riding on with a 10 and a 5 open the entire season. Yeah. Everyone knew what it was for, what was happening, the gambles they took. Other news we forgot. So we saw like some renditions, seating chart renditions of the corner stands, and even saw like some stories like they're coming from basically the Hard Rock seats they use for F1.
Yeah.
And they're not even gonna I thought they were gonna like bowl out. It looks like we're just sticking some squares. There's a triangle opening. Let's just put a square in it.
That's right.
Well,
I thought they would try and fit it somehow, maybe.
Turn that square to a diamond and rotated it. No, just square.
So I think what they're doing is those squares are just going to be for the rest of this season, and I'd expect them to probably build something in the off season, only because they're going to want to put more butts in the seats, right?
Yeah.
I think it's about what can we get up in 2 weeks and pass permits, and in the off season maybe they build it in, but it's going to look. If it looks like the picture on Ticketmaster, it's going to look terrible.
It's going to be really funny looking for when we have millions of eyes.
Duty water. This is going to be
You cannot pay me to sit in those seats, by the way.
This is going to be the first year, by the way. I know this. I'm putting this out there. I'm calling this now. That FIFA, or whatever it's going to be called now, EAFC, whatever stupid name they're going to come up with for the same game, basically. This will be the first year they actually have Inter Miami Stadium in there. Because right now it's just like some generic, random, not mapped out. There's only a few MLS teams that have their actual stadium like reflected.
Yeah, I think it's like the LA clubs,
Seattle, Portland.
Yeah.
But we're finally
Red Bull
I'm
Arena,
going to guess they've already done their scans of the stadium, because if the game's going to release here in a month or so, or 2 or 3 months, I think they probably already got the scan, so hopefully they don't put those in.
They're going to add that. That's DLC right there. That's DLC.
You're going to have to unlock it on
$3.99.
Yeah, it's going to be great. Just some squares fitting in there. All right, boys, I appreciate you swinging by, spending some time. It's been good. We got to do this more often.
Yeah, man, it's a blast.
It's a pleasure, man.
I'm hoping that in the future we're doing this with good news, because, man, it really gets discouraging to do this. Loss after loss after loss after loss, but it was fun. We are just out here being independent fathers, man. Just doing this with the kids.
Yeah.
Shout out you guys for making the time. My studio is now being converted to the baby's room, so
Fun.
yeah. And I got to get down there, get back to it. But before we get off, if you don't follow us already, check us out on Instagram at Inter Miami Podcast, on Twitter at Inter MIA Podcast. While I'm here on the subject, you guys plug yourselves. Where can we check you guys out? Cali, you're involved with like 18 different things. I love that you just hold us in high regard in your heart. And Cali, I know you're out there as well. So go ahead and share so the listeners can follow you, be in tune with what's going on with others.
Yeah, so I'm Inter Miami Podcast through and through. Always my first love. Also, just from the Inter Miami kind of ethos, I'm also involved with the Black Herons, which is an independent, all-inclusive supporters group, and also the Dreaming of Freedom podcast, where we talk more the social and cultural things of football. But my Twitter is the best place to follow me. That's where I tweet a lot. I could be annoying sometimes, but at least I'm kind of funny. I'm at CaliU44, at CALIU44. So that's where I be.
Be Griff, where you at, buddy?
Man, just find me on Inter Miami Podcast, man. You can talk to me in the Discord.
Look at that.
Yeah, get on the Discord.
A company man. A company
you
man.
Can find
I
me
like
on
it.
Twitter. And chances are you've probably seen me retweeting all the great news that's been coming out of the Inter Miami Podcast Twitter account. I'm at BGriff891 on Twitter. Give me a follow if you want. Mostly Inter Miami stuff, occasional Marlin stuff. But yeah, Inter Miami Podcast through and through, baby. Hopefully you'll be hearing my voice more often.
Yep,
Most importantly, though, get on the Discord.
Get on the Discord. Shoot us a message.
Get it.
Get on the Discord. It's always such a good time, man. And you mentioned like the Inter Miami Podcast, right? Is putting out some breaking news, a lot of information. This is not just like only myself and Thane, right? We have a whole team behind us. Cali and Brandon on the team. There are so many individuals that we want to kind of rotate throughout the season and really take this to the next level. Big things in plan. We did a little restructuring, but there's big things in plan. I think it's going to be a lot of fun for all of us. We won't speak too much on it, though. We will let the fans listen. But as we end every single episode, Vamos, Miami.
Vamos, Miami.
Vamos, Miami.
He somehow sounded whiter than Jay.